Hey guys, welcome. How's everyone doing today? Today we're going to be talking about this article I just found that's interesting, but I think it's worth a second look. Did mortgage rates... There it is right there. Can you see it? Oh. It's too long. I just need a womp womp. There you go. Did lower mortgage rates slow down inventory growth? So we're going to take that out, see what's going on with that article, kind of analyze it, see if there's any salt, if it's worth its salt. Is that a saying? After that, we're going to answer some questions. I got some Patreon questions lined up from my Patreon poppies, so we can get the ball rolling. What's up, Melvin? How's SG? Javier Vane popping. Thumbnails, how I feel. Yeah. I know, market stuff. Leo Yang, Javi, is a house cost? Woo! Coffee hits. Is a house cost of $600K, and on Zillow it says it can estimate between $580 and $650. Can I lowball them for $575 with my good credit? Oh man, there's a lot to break down with that. That's a doozy. I think that's worth putting up on the screen for sure. Woo! That's a doozy. Amazing grace, how sweet. Let me see if I can time this. Ready? If I put this and I go, bruh. There you go. Sorry. Those sound effects, man, they always get me. That's not it. That's not what I was trying to do. Did I put the wrong one? Let me see. Oh, it's switched. That's why. There you go. Is a house cost of $600K on Zillow? It says it can estimate between $580 to $650. Can I lowball them? A lot of things up with that comment. Okay, just pull up a random whiteboard here. Let's see how that works. Do you think this will work? Yeah, it works. So let me actually bring over that question over too. I appreciate you answering that question, so you're very brave. Let's really break down here. Okay, first things first. Zillow's saying it's 580 to 650. There's something wrong with this. I think that's way too broad. Change it to red. It's way too broad. So first of all, the initial impression of what they're giving as a range is way too broad, and it's not really worth like your attention. So when you're looking at comps, you don't want to just base it off with Zillow. You want to actually pull up what's called a comparable market analysis. It's called the CMA. Bad news, it's hard to do it by yourself. Good news is you can get any agent to do it for you. I know, boo, you got to hire an agent, boo. If you need an agent referrals in the description. homemoney.com/Javier. So get a CMA done and actually get a better range. I get there's going to be a range, but I like a range of like minus plus like maybe 10K, like maybe. Okay, that's way too broad. Once you do the minus plus 10K and you actually get a better idea, then you can actually base like an actual offer, right? So you know you don't want to just make an offer at 575. 25K under. And when they ask you why, you're gonna be like, I don't know, Zillow says it's worth between 5-8. They're gonna laugh at you. You don't want to be that situation. You want to be like, I'm only offering this because based on other houses in the area would have sold. This is what I think. Basically, you do is you find, like, if this is an idea, you find what the fair FMV, fair market value is, and what you try doing is you aim for like this range. Okay, don't aim for this range. So the second part is with my good credit. Your good credit absolutely has nothing to do with this. Your good credit will help you get pre-qualified and get a better rate, but that doesn't matter. That means absolutely nothing for the seller. I mean, is it going to help them maybe like talk about like, oh yeah, it's a good buyer, we're going to go with you. But at the end of the day, you have to look at it like this, okay? A seller is going to, let's say, seller, that's you. You are going to send your offer, and they're going to review that offer. That offer needs a pre-qualification. That pre-qualification is the same paper regardless if you have amazing credit or don't. So that amazing credit doesn't really, it's great that you have amazing credit, right? But it leads to the same result, which then doesn't really empower your offer that much more. If you lowball them and you have great credit, they're going to be like, that's nice, bro, but this other offer, they have okay credit and they're actually offering above list price. You know what I mean? So a few things wrong with the reasoning there that I would just correct. But thank you for being brave and asking your question. Big Gucci Sosa. I love the name, Big Gucci. The Gooch. Kyle, you're still here? Just wow. A serious question. Guess I can do that too. Hold on, Gooch. Serious question, my bro-in-law. I thought you were like, serious question, my bro. And are you calling me my bro? I'm your brother-in-law. Serious question, my bro-in-law, comma. So why commas are really important. You can be like, serious question, my bro-in-law, comma. Just closed on his house yesterday. So it's like, am I your brother-in-law? Or serious, comma. Question my bro-in-law. Like you're gonna question your brother-in-law. Anyways, you probably mean serious question, comma, my brother-in-law just closed on his house yesterday and broke his arm falling from the truck, moving in, and now he cannot work in his job. I'm sorry, I did not mean to laugh. That is not a reason to laugh. That's really terrible. That definitely is a bruh moment. That's horrible that happened to you. Let's to your brother-in-law. Let me read that again. Let's be serious about this. My bro-in-law just closed on his house yesterday and broke his arm from falling off his truck moving in, and now he cannot work and his job will fire him because of his injury occurred. Outside of work, is there a 3-day period where they could get out of the house, or are they stuck? Wow. That's just horrible luck, man. Oh man. No, there's no grace period. I mean, we're not talking like a car or anything like that. Like, that house is under their deed now. You know, it's like their house. The good news is they don't have to pay a mortgage payment for the first 30 to 60 days, depending on what day you close. If he just closed yesterday, then his first payment isn't until July 1st. It's May, June, July 1st. So, you're probably going to be okay. He has to get a job in the next 30 to 60 days, though. Hopefully, bro has Aflac. Oh, man. That's tough. That's a tough situation. I'm so sorry, and I apologize for laughing. That is really tough. I hope that he can get a job in the next 30 to 60 days, and he's got some time. So, it's terrible. What kind of job will just fire you because your arm broke? That's like terrible. Where did he work? Jeez Louise. Can you imagine that? All right, so let's get into this article. While you guys ask your questions below, please make sure to leave your questions, and I can definitely leave it to them. Did mortgage rates slow housing inventory growth? By Logan Motashami. Take out this comment here. That's very bad luck. Yes, he does. That goes to show that he really can't afford that house. He got fired? How does that show you can't afford it? I guess that if that goes to show if you lose your job and you can't afford a house and you couldn't afford it. What's up with the reasoning behind there? Okay. I don't know Curtis Jackson. I don't know if rates will be 5% next year. My model for inventory growth with higher mortgage rates came crashing down last week. After 2 weeks of significant increases, inventory growth slowed dramatically and is far from my 11,000 to 7,000 growth model with the rates over 7.25. Did the recent dip in mortgage rates play a role here, or is the average choppy weekly data we have seen in the past years? Let's delve into the weekly data. First of all, no one can predict anything in this housing market. So if you have a model or you think you have things figured out, you don't, bro. That's my first thing. I need an honest opinion on the housing market, please. That's like I thought of a really dumb example. You're asking a very complicated question. You're asking for an honest opinion, so it's an opinion. So you want my opinion. My opinion is the housing market is not feasible for any kind of long-term investment. Oh, sorry. Yeah, short-term and long-term investments. The idea of your house being a way to put your money in and pull your money out and make money has significantly decreased. Like, that's not very possible now. This housing market has increased to a point where it's unaffordable for most people, and houses are not going to be something reserved for the upper middle class unless you live in a rural area or you get very fortunate and you get inherited a house or something. That's my opinion of the housing market. No emergency fund, you can't really afford it. No, it's your opinion, Vincent. You're not being harsh. But you're 100% right. Right? So it's like having an emergency fund will at least 3 to 6 months will help that case. Yeah, Famey, I can definitely do that, especially because it's Goodyear. It's my backyard. I live right next to Goodyear. You know, I'm gonna say, bro, do you have an agent? Reach out to me. But that's just because I sell my soul. So, but I'm happy to do it. Okay, let's while Femi and you guys ask your questions, let's keep going on this article. I was looking for a hat trick this week after higher mortgage rate fueled more inventory growth. But that stalled out last week. It's important to note that the weekly data can be volatile, so I won't overreact to 1 week of slow inventory growth data. But it was disappointing to see just 3,453 homes added. Last year during the same time frame, inventory fell week to week as well. So always remember that a trend is more important than 1 week's data. Note that we don't have Mother's Day. We do have Mother's Day weekend next week. I guess you wrote it last week. not seeing anything cool here. Weekly inventory change. April 26th to May 3rd was 556 to 559. Same week last year fell from 421 to 420. Why this frustrates me to look at national data. Like, why are we looking at national data that has nothing to do with this? Whatever, I'll keep reading. You're not feeling the music? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me pull out my guitar and sing you a song. New listings data. New listing data has been a positive story all year, as we've seen consistent growth from 2023 levels, which saw the lowest recorded levels of new listings ever. I wish new listings were growing faster, but I will call it a victory nonetheless. I saw a slight decline in new listings data week to week. For now, I will chalk this up to seasonal choppiness. We sometimes see the inventory data. Here's the listing data for the last week or the last several years. So this year we had an increase of 70,000. Last year we had 57,000. 2022 we had 76,000. So this is concerning because 2022 around this time is where we hit the peak of prices and we started dipping because we weren't able to sell that inventory. So that, are we building up to that point now? 2022, like this, from this point to this point is when prices started dropping, and we're reaching that point again. They give you 20% towards closing? That doesn't sound right. They gave you 20% towards your closing costs, 20% of the purchase price. So for $400,000 they give you $80,000. Who's giving? Your mom? Big Gucci says they do have an emergency fund. Yeah, okay, great. That's awesome. If there was a grace period, would you like have an auto personal loan, a real estate professional? That's what I asked. Yeah, Gucci, that some people are just, they just state their opinion here. You're good, man. There is none of that. And if they sell, they probably will be at a loss because they have to pay fees and whatnot. So your brother-in-law just needs to kind of figure out how to get another job as soon as possible, maybe in the management, so he doesn't have to be using his arm. But I think it's really shitty of his job to just let him go because he broke his arm. Like, there should be, I get he's in construction, but there should be some kind of, like, I don't know, some kind of position they can move him to or something. Price cut percentage. An average year, 1/3 of all homes take a price cut. This is standard housing activity. When the mortgage rates increase, demand falls and the price cut percentage grows. When rates drop, the demand improves, the percentage falls. The price cut percentage growth in 2024 is much slower than 2022. When rates spike more aggressively, hold on. The price cut percentage growth in 2024 is much slower than in 2022 when the rates spike more aggressively. The second half of 2002 had the biggest and fastest decline of home sales ever, and after November 2022, the epic home sales crash stopped. This can explain why the slope of the price cut curve was faster and stronger in 2022. Okay, yeah. So, 2022, percentage of price decreases, basically the 40% of houses price decreased the second half, which led to a large price reduction. And the higher this is, the more prices drop. So we're still at a pretty good range of price drops. I feel like this data stuff, just like like, how is this practical, you know? Like, this is just throwing numbers and okay. That's nice. Yes. This is nice. 10-year yield and mortgage rates. We had an exciting week with a 10-year yield and mortgage rates. The Federal Reserve tried to maintain balanced stance on when the next rate cut would happen, which I talked about in the Housing Wire Daily podcast. I guess we'll have to go listen to that. Then the 10-year yield fell over the jobs report, showed the wage growth slowed. I wrote about wage growth slowdown and how that ties into the Fed model and the analysis of job reports. Looking at all these factors, the Fed meeting points, the softness in job openings, and the Jobs Friday data can explain the data declining yields and mortgage rates over the last week. Okay, mortgage spreads have been terrible. Okay, this is decent. Purchase application data didn't move again last week. Less people buying houses. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't find any of this information valuable. I'm not sure if this guy's trying to like give this data and like trying to predict like something or something not happening or happening. It's just when it comes to this kind of stuff, people are so focused on being the next Michael Burry and seeing when the crash is happening to save a lot of people money. When it's gonna be, there's like a lot of markets right now where we have a huge amount of active listings, not so many pendings, yet somehow prices are still increasing. So there's a lot of things propping up the market that we really can't see, that you can't really see by looking at pieces of data like this. You know what I'm saying? You kind of have to just be in the field, kind of get your feet wet, let's see what's going on. All right, let's see this house that Femi. What the heck, Femi? How come you want to go see this house without me, bro? I'm just kidding. It's a new build. Good for you, Femi. SG, why does APR matter? Why does it matter? I don't think it really does. Let's see. We change the title. Change the title. Okay. Juan Lopez says June 31st. Why? What's going on? What's going on June 31st? Buyers want to live in their home should not put too much weight on home value predictions. You want to do something brave, guys? You guys want to watch the latest housing market crash video and see what their people are saying? I'll just look up. I'm gonna make a brand new account. Let's go incognito. Now, why would we go to incognito? I don't know why. Why would you do it? Let's just look up housing market and see what pops up. This is a brand new page on an incognito account. Oh, it's not letting me put it on because it's incognito. No, okay, I guess I have to. Let me see. I'll make a new account. Here you go. I have this account. It's called Not Javier Vidana, so it's not me. Not me. Let's just look up housing market crash. See what pops up. Well, actually, what would you look up? You'd look up housing market prediction, right? Let's see what pops up. This guy just makes all the housing market predictions, huh? Check it out. Turn down the music for y'all. Remember, it's not me watching this.
In today's video, let's review the housing market crash of 2021. I mean, 2022. Wait, 2023. I mean, 2024.
That's funny. Props for the intro.
So people have been saying that there's going to be a housing market crash ever since 2020. I'm going to show you. For example, you can take a look at Graham Stephan, prime example of clickbaiting.
Holy shit, I'm in love. Wow, what did I just stumble on?
He has mastered the art of clickbaiting with the housing market crash. I know other people have been doing the same thing, but let's just use him as an example.
Wow. Let me change the title. What did I just stumble on, brother?
So this is from 2020. The upcoming 2021 real estate collapse explained. This is 3 years ago. The housing crash. Don't ask me about the messed up face. I have self-respect and dignity, so I cannot relate. Look.
Oh, man.
Look at this one. Don't buy a home. You'll regret it. So he made this video in April of 2021. In April of 2021, home prices were lower and mortgage interest rate.
Nah, don't use the... We debunked that in this channel. Like, the Redfin charts always, like, flatten them or something to make them look less scary. But I get it. You guys don't have access to other charts, but just be careful with it. This is probably Redfin, I'm assuming. Yeah, based on Redfin calculations. It's just they always do something weird with their charts to make them look less scary because they're trying to get you to look at houses on their website.
We're at 2.9%. 2 years back, clickbaiting continues. Graham clickbait Stephan. 1 year ago, he adds fire to the clickbait, as if the lies were not enough. Warning for the 2023 housing market crash. That didn't happen. 7 months ago, the housing market is getting destroyed. No, it's not. That's a lie. 3 months ago, housing crash. 3 weeks ago, housing crash. So this is 4 solid years of clickbaiting by Graham. As I told you, he's a prime example. You saw the evidence for yourself. But I understand why people clickbait, because it gets the views, it makes them the YouTube revenue, but at the same time, it spreads misinformation, and I find it very disingenuous. To some people, that's important. To other people, I guess not. Listen, I understand that Graham is not the only clickbaiter out there. I understand that other people are doing it as well. I'm just using Graham as an example because he was picking on me when I had less than 100,000 subscribers back in the day for whatever reason. So I'm just returning the favor to Graham because the way I see it, I'm not going to let a feminine little boy with Napoleon complex disrespect.
What the hell did I just stumble on, dude? Did I just stumble on some freaking... I'm getting all Mexican. I'm getting all cholo on you guys. I just stumbled on some drama foo? What the hell did I just... Guys, you guys should have let me know sooner.
Respect me like that. It's not what I stand for. Now listen, I do a housing market update once a month. Median home prices in the U.S. are up year over year. I have people, this is where the problem is. I have people coming to my content from other clickbait videos and they get confused. I see in the comments, Brian, what do you mean that home prices are up? I just heard that home prices are down 30% year over year. And I'm like, no, you're just another victim.
He said feminine little boy with a Napoleon complex. What the...
of housing market crash clickbait. And I just want to tell you this. I constantly hear 2 rebuttals. The first one is that the housing market crash is coming. It's right around the corner. As if I didn't hear that for the past 4 years. And I just want to say, give me a moment. I'm going to show you the info about the timing of the housing market crash. I think that you're going to love this. And rebuttal number 2 is that home prices are down 20% in my area. I'll just say that's great. This is what I always say. I say that's great. Congratulations. Because I'm not going to argue with these people. The median home price in the U.S. right now is up. 6% year over year. If home prices are down 20% in your area, that means that home prices are up by 26% in a different area. That's how math works. Okay, so let's address the timing of the housing market crash. So
Femi, I know you want me to analyze that house. Dude, I can't really pull comps on new builds because new build comps, the way they work, let me pull out a whiteboard real quick. The way they work, it's kind of flawed. So if they have, when they start building a house, let's call this house A, right? They'll sell it at, I don't know, 400K. And they will keep that price there. And what they'll do is they'll give you a lot of incentives to keep that price there. So let's say they'll give the buyer, closing costs. They'll buy down the rate. They'll give you all kinds of things, but they'll keep the price at 400K. Now, when they build a house again, they're might price it like 405. They might price another one 410. So they keep it around the same range, and if the market starts struggling, they'll just throw more incentives to the buyers to artificially keep that value up. So regardless of what's going on with the market around here, they can just increase and make these closing clauses girthier and girthier without really reducing the price. That's why if you ever negotiate with a new builder, they'll never give you more incentives. They'll never reduce the price. They'll just give you more incentive. So now when you have your house or you're building, the appraisal is going to magically come in fine, because if you just they're going to use similar houses, and guess what? The builder is the one that built the similar houses. The appraisal is going to be just fine. So for me to give you fair market analysis, I would have to use new houses, and unfortunately, they're all tainted. So whenever you're buying a house in your new community, this is the first time I use this. I don't know how would you erase? Does anyone know how to erase? Right here. Yes. So really what you want to do is you want to be first. It's like it's going to be really surprising. Where is it? Right here. Okay. So if you build your house first, it's probably going to be the lowest price. And what they're going to do is they're going to continue to build, and continue building the value artificially. And it's going to start looking like a shape. What shape is that? And if you're at the very end or the tail end of a build, you might be paying like 500K because they just really propped up the value with all these houses. And now, when everything's finally being done built, it settles with everything else. And these people here lose the most amount of value, and these people here maintain the most amount of value. So I can't give you a fair market analysis for a new build. I can give you fair market for a resale, but I just wouldn't be able to do it for that.
So far, we've been waiting about 4 years for the crash, right? And it's right around the corner.
Let me say this about this guy. I've seen his videos. I thought he was just a clickbaiter. A master clickbaiter. Don't take out the click in the middle of that. And I stand corrected. So,
correct.
What's up, Reefer?
So what is the most common argument for why there's going to be a housing market crash? It's that housing is so unaffordable right now. And home prices have to go down because nobody can afford to buy a home. That's the argument. We'll just pretend like big institutions,
Volume okay?
private equity, and foreign investors don't exist, okay? We'll just play along. Okay, so what's going to send home prices just crashing down? It's simply going to be that there's more supply than there will be demand. So in other words, there's just going to be a ton of sellers. So many people want to sell their homes, sell, and there's no buyers to be found, right? That's the type of situation. But what's going to cause that type of situation? Well, it would probably be foreclosures. So what am I talking about? That's the situation where the economy goes to crap. So many people, millions of people lose their jobs. They can't pay their mortgages. They get foreclosed on, and millions of homes are put on the housing market for sale because of the foreclosures. So let's say that happens, okay? Now you have to keep this in mind. If you look back at 2010, during the last housing market.
Miss Taylor, I agree. I've never seen any of his videos, and he called Graham Stephan, what did he call him? A feminine what? Jeez.
Crash.
Scott, Javier, can you talk about the advantages and disadvantages of using an agent that's working on both sides? Our realtor informed us that he has an investor who's doing a remodel. Yeah, I'll talk about it right now.
There were about 3 million foreclosures in that year alone. 3 million. So did you know that right now there are 1.4 million homes listed for sale? So just think about it. 3 million foreclosures in 1 year. That is a lot. So absolutely, you have 3 million foreclosures in 1 year. That's going to add a ton of supply to the markets, and that's going to cause a housing market crash, without a doubt. Keep that in mind because I want to show you this. Now, here are the foreclosure filings since 2005. At the end of 2023, we're at 357,000. We're heading up slowly. So maybe in 2024, maybe this year, we're going to be comparable to 2005 levels leading up to the crash. So if everything goes massively wrong, like it did back then, the last crash, then we'll be on track for a housing market crash 3 or 4 years from now.
One thing to note about this, I'm not countering anything this guy's saying, but I think when people talk about the foreclosures, there's a huge differences between banks now versus banks then. I don't think banks had any system, like the short sale system is something that existed, but got really like nailed down to a really science around these years. So a lot of banks have a lot of systems to help people not lose their houses. They have literally departments now dedicated to that. That's the main difference between here and here. So if you get people that can't pay their mortgage, that's really a big difference that needs to be discussed. Are they even going to get to the point of foreclosure when their banks will work with them?
So prepare yourself for the housing market crash of 2028. But here's the problem with that scenario, because if you take a look at mortgage holders right now.
I'm not finished with the video, but I agree with Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore. If you guys don't follow this guy, I don't follow him. I'm going to go on my main channel right now and follow him. And I'm actually, not that he needs this support. Obviously, he's much bigger than I am. But I'm going to definitely see if I can make a community post and just recommend it because it's a really good video.
You have 80% of them with an interest rate of 4% or below. And this is probably so many people that are watching. If you're a homeowner, the home equity is just at record levels right now because, well, obviously thanks to inflation. If you recently bought a home with a 7% mortgage interest rate and you bought more home that you can handle, then yes, that's going to be a dangerous situation. Nobody's going to deny that. But for the majority of homeowners that have an interest rate of 3%, hundreds of thousands of dollars in home equity, it's a different story. You scroll down, I'll tell you, you can scroll down in the comments and you're going to read people saying that they feel like, they bought their home pre-pandemic and they feel like they dodged a bullet. They feel very fortunate because the landscape back then compared to...
I like this. Click for the clickbait, stay for the smoke.
what it is right now, it's totally different. And most people are aware of this. And I'm telling you, many of these people that bought their home pre-pandemic, they're going to tell, you can read in the comments, they're going to say that they have family members that are trying to buy a home right now, and it is a terrible situation. Nobody's going to deny that. Housing is unaffordable for new home buyers. That is a fact. Okay, here's the tricky part. Mortgage interest rates will go down this year. That's going to happen. That's probably going to start in Q3, Q4 of this year. Not by much, but it's going to be the start because mortgage interest rates, they're going to continue to fall in 2025. The tricky part is that if interest rates go down, then that's going to cause home prices to go up. In other words, just think about it. If interest rates don't change, then nothing's going to change and the housing will stay unaffordable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if interest rates go down, then home prices will inflate and then they're still going to be unaffordable. So this sounds like new home buyers are going to be screwed either way. You know, how can this be? Does that make...
Javi, weren't you leaning towards a crash earlier this year? I'll address that right now. I welcome you to go look at my videos, though. I have been honest about clickbaiting, or I think it was like early 2022. And then I made a video apologizing, saying, I'm sorry, guys, I fell. And it's actually the most, the funny enough, it was the most viewed of my channel's ever made. Like, I'll be honest, I made like 8 to 10,000 in ad revenue. It was like life-changing money for me at that time. Like, holy crap, this is it. But I just felt so just weird and just like so fake. I had to find the bad news. And I made a video like a few months later and I said, I'm sorry, everyone, I apologize. And any video I've made, like I think the most sensational one was 3 months ago, how to prepare for a housing market crash. Or in that video, I talk to people, okay, some of you guys still think a market crash is coming. Let me show you how to prepare for one. And then I basically told them to save money, which that video got 20,000 views, nothing compared to the clickbaiter. So please let me know when I've alluded that the market crash is coming. If anyone's been watching me for a long time and actually watches the videos, not just the ones that catch their eye, will know that I've always told people, buy what you can afford, what you can afford. Try not to time the market. If you're not, it's an affordable market, move or wait and be patient. What's up, Felipe?
Makes sense. So let me explain it to you like this. This is as simply as I can put it.
Guys, if you have another housing market crash video you want to watch, let me know, please. I want to check it out.
Mistakes are made. There are consequences. The Federal Reserve made huge errors with monetary policy. They screwed up. And we, everyday Americans, are paying the price. That's what happened. And I understand. I get it. Millions of Americans are rooting for a housing market crash, and I don't blame them. The concept is simple. If there's a housing market crash of, let's just say 30% or more, then you're going to be able to afford to buy a home because you're going to get a better price. Very straightforward concept, right? If that's what you're thinking, you're not the only one, because according to the latest Lending Tree survey, 33% of Americans say that they want the housing market to crash so that they'll be able to afford a home.
Here's a problem with that idea that people have. Let's say these are the values, which I think every time I check a city, dang it, sorry, there's something blocking my, there you go. The values I've checked, this is like, let's say 2020 to like 2024 right here. Let's do 2024 right here. What happened is beginning of the pandemic. No. It was beginning pandemic. Pandemic hit, massive value spike. 2022, a drop. And now we're like in this weird period where we're like here. Some cities are actually already here. They already passed this point. But most everybody else is like around here. Okay. What's going to happen is if prices start dropping, there are so many people on the sidelines that they're going to really prevent it. You know why? Because it literally happened in 2023. 2023, we started seeing prices really correct themselves, but everybody got so hyped about it being a housing market crash that it prevented any kind of substantial growth. Let me show you. With real data. Everyone, can you guys turn around while I type my password? Can you guys turn around? Kyle is my baby daddy, 69. Win the house you love, or like win the house you hate. Am I right? All right, there you go. Let me just show you here. Let's just pick a random city. I don't know. Let's do Phoenix. Phoenix is kind of depressing right now because you're gonna notice that it's past freaking 2022 peak, which makes no freaking sense. Makes no sense because this value increase right here, let's do 2019. This value increase was because the rates were low. See how it was already dropping, and you see how it stopped dropping, and it's been only going up since that. This is unadulterated, pure data from the Phoenix MLS, ladies and gentlemen. Not manipulating anything. Let's maybe just reduce it to square footage. It probably won't go as high. There, it's still freaking there. Okay, there. Why did this happen? Because interest rates started dropping, like massive price values. Everybody was clickbaiting the market crashes here. The market crashes here. Everyone started getting, yes, let's do it. It's our time to buy. And look what happened. Anytime people start getting hyped, there's too many people connected to the matrix right now. Too many people are connected, and even if there's any natural like downturn, there's so many people connected and like giving news and media and everything, then it's going to go back up as soon as there's any kind of hype of that, unless something really insane happens.
But let me ask you a serious question and answer honestly. Do you think that the Federal Reserve is really going to allow a housing market crash this year? In an election year? Like, seriously? The Federal Reserve controls interest rates. They control the money printers. They've shot up home.
I don't think the chat will allow links. So if you guys want to just like, yeah, just type what the video name is, maybe.
Prices 40% since pre-pandemic, and they can keep it going. And guess what? I mean, they made their plans very clear, especially in their meeting, in their SEP. They're moving towards an easier monetary policy very, very soon. Now, I want to ask you this final question. Where do you think that all of this is leading? My opinion is that I truly believe that we are moving towards a nation of renters. It's not going to be overnight, but slow and steady wins the race for big institutions. Right now, 33% of Americans are renters. In Switzerland, it's about 60%, Germany and Denmark around 50%. So I recently made a video about how large institutions, how private equity are buying up US residential homes.
It's been happening for a while though.
That's in addition to foreign investors. And that trend, they've been tracking this for the past at least 20 years. It's just been accelerating. And you know what? Honestly, if there's a housing market crash, it's them. It's the investors, it's the institutions that will benefit the most.
You know what would cause an adjustment? If they all decided to just back out of the market and sell, that would be pretty insane because that would create like a massive wave of listings. That would be pretty sweet. Then prices would go down and they'd go back to home buyers, but
that's the truth. So I want to conclude by saying this. People are clickbaiting about a housing market crash. They're spreading misinformation. Home affordability is at record lows. Institutions, foreign investors, they're buying up more homes than ever. I mean, what can I say? This is the world that we live in. It's a scary time to be alive, right? Please subscribe. I'm going to keep you updated on the housing market. Thank you for the support.
Bravo. Wow. I stand corrected. I had an opinion about this guy. I never watched any of his videos. I just always see his titles. Every time you do research on any housing market niche, he's always him popping up. And I just figured he was just going to be one of those guys, you know, that are just clickbaiting something negative. But I stand corrected. He gives very, very solid and practical advice. Of course, let's call the elephant in the room. Most people who benefit from people buying and selling are real estate agents and lenders. So, of course, they're going to be very much in support of someone who's very anti or like just saying, hey, market crash is not here. But my appreciation for him is calling it Graham a feminine soy boy, or I have to look. Can we let's clip that. I want to make that a freaking I think that it must be here.
People are doing it as well. I'm just using Graham as an example because he was picking on me when I had less than 100,000 subscribers back in the day for whatever reason. So I'm just returning the favor to Graham because the way I see it, I'm not going to let a feminine little boy with Napoleon complex disrespect me like that.
Jeez Louise. A feminine little boy with a Napoleon. Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with being a feminine boy. But when we're talking like playground rules and someone calls you a feminine little, I'm gonna add soy boy. Feminine little soy boy. Woo. I mean, I'm not gonna dip my toes back in the housing market game again because it's just another world. Not only that, but like the housing market, like people that are really in tune with that and watch those videos, it's like a whole nother monster. Like if they're very like aggressive and very like it's like very. And then you like pick up, you become a fan of somebody who makes housing market videos and you become very like You know what I mean? So I will just say kudos to this guy. If you don't support him, please support him. I'm going to go log into my main channel now. And interesting. So, he's a legit CPA. That's interesting. Let's see what else pops up. Once again, brand new account just to see what people are saying about housing market crash. Housing market predictions. Hit search. Boom. Boom. 2 weeks ago, housing market crash. Let's be very honest. Let's be very honest. Brian also speaks Spanish? What?
The 20
Does he have a Latina wife? My boy has a Latina wife. Listen, I love my wife. I know she's not watching right now, so I'm okay. But man, I have to make sure, like, give her some, not hot Cheetos, but some spicy chips once every 2-3 days, or else it's just bad. Okay, listen. If you know anyone who's married to an Hispanic woman, know that it's Hispanic is his wife. Just kidding, love all my Latinas. I'm just joking. Please don't kill me. He does, really? That's so funny. All right, let's look at this guy.
2020 housing bubble, the 2021 housing market collapse, the 2022 housing market apocalypse, the 2023 housing market implosion, and the 2024 housing market meltdown. All of these are titles of videos made by various YouTubers, including myself, over the past 4 years, but the reality of the housing market in the US has been very different. Instead of crashing, the markets
Oh, no way. That guy's way much bigger than me.
have only gone up. In fact, according to the infamous Case-Shiller Index, home prices in the United States have increased by 42%
Fred!
since January 2020. This video isn't about excuses, but rather the reality and addressing the various problems that plagued all of these predictions over the past 4 years. To begin, we first need to take a step back and understand some history. Back in 2005, before anyone had ever made a video about housing on YouTube, the United States was experiencing a massive bubble. At
Did YouTube exist then? It was just Smosh videos, huh?
the time, the general consensus was that home prices had risen too rapidly and were excessively high. According to the Case-Shiller Index, from January 2002 to January 2007, a span of exactly 5 years, the average home price in the US had surged by 58%. This increase was significantly higher than any growth rates in previous decades, leading many to question the sustainability of such growth. Indeed, it turned out to be unsustainable. By 2007, the housing market collapsed, revealing the bubble. Between 2007 and 2012, home prices plummeted by
Didn't talk about the fraudulent mortgages. Didn't talk about anything that actually led to that. There's a huge portion, and how was it the banks and how they stack the loans and how they put shit loans and they really rated them as A's and all that. Like, there's a lot of things that oh, let's just move on.
27%.
Oh, brother, did someone just say Joe Biden's America? my wife and I, every time, like, our 1-year-old or something, like, does something, like, I don't know, she cries because she dropped her Cheeto or something. Joe Biden's America. Just people just
Nationwide. In some areas, the decline was even more drastic.
If you think Joe Biden's responsible for this housing market, you need to pay more attention. But this has been happening way before Joe Biden.
With reductions exceeding 50% from their 2007 peak values. The crash confirmed that the market had been in a bubble, exposing the true economic vulnerability. So now fast
Would you really give me your thoughts on Thach Nguyen? Sure. I've never heard of that. Let me look him up right now.
forward to 2020, and we were starting to see similar
what did I do? Sorry.
issues the rise. For those following the pricing data, it was all starting to look very familiar. Remember how I said prices increased by 58% in the 5 years from 2002 to 2007? Well, from 2020 to 2022, which is only 2 years, prices in the US increased by around 42%. There was no way this wasn't a bubble, or at least that was the prevailing consensus.
I'm not liking this so far. Here's why. It's just analyzing what happened. Like, it's like if you look at my weight chart throughout my life, like Javier gained 60 pounds in 2 years and then just moves on. But it's like, yeah, but like, why did it happen? Too many tacos. Why did this happen? Interest rates were historically low and home buyers were not had a fighting with amongst each other, but they also fought with the rise of demand being created by this new phenomenon of working from home and corporate investors wanting to take advantage of the low rates and this massive price, increase and getting into the market. So we had 3 people just fighting amongst each other that created this massive.
Even housing bulls can acknowledge that this kind of growth was far above normal. In cities like Austin, the situation began looking grim following the interest rate hikes and the stock market normal.
Sorry guys, I'm going to skip this until he gets into some opinions. So let's go like here.
Well, according to some creators, yes, that's sort of exactly what should happen. If you listen to someone like Clear Value Tax, the answer is a resounding yes. You can hear him call out all of these creators in a video he recently uploaded titled Housing Market Crash 2024. Let's be brutally honest and
so he just made this as a response to that video. That's why he literally named it the same title. He's one of those.
This video. Take a listen to his take.
In today's,
we just watched that video.
For example,
bro.
I have self-respect. Warning for understand
sense, but there is something missing from his take that deserves some attention.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, many of us.
I would have loved if you started the video there, and all these first 4 or 5 minutes were just start there.
We're wrong about a future crash.
I'm sorry, guys. I know you're getting angry, Javi here, but it's just so. This is me. Even if I'm not live, I'm like yelling like this.
Despite some concerning data, but the entire issue of clickbait on YouTube is sort of a double-edged sword, and it leaves a lot of creators in a weird spot. Let me explain. What you have to remember, and what every finance creator on this platform understands deep in their head, is actually very simple. We are not professional economists or investors or advisors. We are entertainers at the end of the day. We create finance content that is meant to generate views, and of course, you try to align your content with your actual view that's hopefully backed up by real data. Does that mean that someone will be right? No. But we present a take that is hopefully both realistic and entertaining. That is YouTube. If we were actual economists or professional investors, I can guarantee you that we wouldn't be uploading any videos because our primary concern would be doing exactly that. Anyone who uploads on YouTube with a larger audience is in the business of media and entertainment first. If you are looking to support people who are actually in the trenches doing serious work when it comes to financial analysis, most of the time they are not.
I'm downgrading this to a 1.25 because it's hard.
Here on this platform. One example of this is Bill McBride. This is a man who writes and analyzes housing data in a serious scientific way and then writes about it on a Substack called Calculated Risk. Or Altos Research, which is the premier resource for real-time real estate data. Guys like Bill and Mike, they are not on this platform making these types of videos. And for,
is it better to leave my baby mama in my Is it better to leave my baby mama in my house in a trust or put her on the deed?
Bruh.
That's my answer.
good reason. I'm here to tell you that finance YouTube is a business of views, while they're in the business of reliability and data science. Mike Simonson isn't out here looking to get 500,000 views on his next upload titled Pending Home Sales Prices Hit All-Time Highs. He's going to get a few thousand, which hopefully drives more people to his research platform, which is his primary business. I use Mike and Bill's charts all the time and try to credit them as much as I can, but if we're being real, they are the experts and I'm merely an aggregator who presents it in a way that is centered around views and at the end of the day, a business. And the business is based 100% on the amount of views you get. So let's take a look at Clear Value Tax and see which of his videos are driving his revenues. And as you can see, there is a clear pattern here. Sure,
he doesn't put ads in his video though.
May not be using wild thumbnails, but look no further than the title. Warning, crash, disaster.
He seems like a. I'm not a fan of this guy. No, I don't like this guy. Just doesn't really give any value or anything. It's just it's not really a video about the housing market crash. It's more talking about the drama, right? Like this is where I think the better title would be like this is where CVT is wrong, or we could have called it something along that. But he obviously is talking like, oh well, it's a business. And this guy is kind of a hypocrite because his biggest views videos are the videos with the housing market stuff. But at the same time, use almost the same exact title. So, no. This guy's legit. You like him? The MH Fen? Maybe, but this specific video, I don't like. Used car. Let me check out his other channel. Check out his other stuff. Yeah, I guess he talks about other things other than real estate. So
the 2020 housing bubble.
Sure, it's okay. Let's move on. I'm not gonna give you advice on whether to put your baby mama in that. I don't want any of that heat. If that ends up blowing up in your face, you're gonna come to me. Thanks, Helber. Appreciate you, man. Reach out. I'm ready. I'm primed and ready. Oh, I just got one under contract. Very nice. Oh, we got 2 under contract. Very cool. I just looked up housing market crash. We got JW, MH Finn again, Valuetainment, me. This video is funny because this video, I was putting it out and I was going to name it totally something different. And I asked my friend for advice. I was like, what do you think about this title? And then she was like, it's not going to get enough views. Make this the title. And I was like, okay, cool. But like my video is not really about how it could be brutal. It talks of just kind of sharing people the worst case scenario and sharing people how they could survive that. And the only people that are really going to suffer are the people that are buying without them affording. So I was going to name it like, if you can't afford your house, you're in serious problems or something like that. And she's like, no, name it this. And I was like, okay. And it's one of my most viewed videos. So I guess I'm a giant hypocrite. But I get a lot of hate comments on that video because it's like, it's kind of more positive and then negative, and the people click on it thinking it's going to be like, argh, and it turns out it's not. Michael Bordanero.
One thing I hear you guys talking about a lot in the comments.
The one that started the walking trend. Let's see, what's the latest take? I don't want to hear this one. Let's hear what the latest take is. Oh man. The truth on who's buying the houses. Okay. Here's my issue with this. I would say the general tone of this is very negative, right? Very, like, I feel like my cortisone levels just spiking just watching this because it's like so negative, so scary.
When I found out about this news today, it made me very happy because what it proved to me is that people are not falling for all of the BS that we are.
Very scary. Can you guess what the first link that gets put on the description? Once again, we saw something very negative, scary stuff. Housing market is about to bust in your pants. What do you think the main link that he's pushing? Need a realtor? I know this because I'm also a home and money boy. But yeah, home and money agent referral service very has helped me in my rough months. When you guys use my link, homeandmoney.com/Javier, to find a realtor anywhere but Phoenix, because I'm the Phoenix guy, very much helpful. They're a great team. Only issue I really have with them is, I guess, yeah, a lot more views than I. This probably killing. This guy's probably making like over 40, 50K a month. It's crazy. But to me, it's like there's a disconnect there, you know? At least the other guys, the people that are talking about a crash, at least they're pushing like something else. Not the market's about to blood. It's like you're reviewing tacos and you have like a diet course in your description, you know?
Are continually being told, because now a lot of people are thinking that
What's up, Miguel? Just watching home crash videos today. Good money for it's great money. You guys don't imagine. He's probably making a lot of, like, you guys have no idea.
Rates are going to hit double-digit territory within the next 3 years. So if people were drinking the Kool-Aid and thinking that, oh, everything is great and we're going to be lowering interest rates soon, nobody would be thinking that. Everybody would be expecting mortgage rates to go back down to 4% in the next couple of years. But instead, it's the opposite. Everybody's thinking that it's going to go up, guys. It makes me so happy to hear that, because it just means that people are paying attention. People are seeing what's happening with inflation. People are seeing what's happening with interest rates, and they're realizing that this isn't going away anytime soon. According to a new survey from the New York Fed, consumers on average said that over the next year, they expect 30-year mortgage rates to rise to 8.7% and within 3 years to 9.7%, and both of which are series high, according to the New York Fed. To me, what that also says is people who answered this and said this are pessimistic on the economy, which means that they know what's really.
Here's the $1 super chat. Gio, you can tell you've never actually listened to his videos. Yeah, I haven't.
Going on, regardless of what we're being told
I'm
about
totally just making that assumption based off titles. That's 100% right.
the GDP numbers and
So you're telling me that he's not saying? What's the point, Gio?
employment and jobs and all of this, people are starting to ignore that stuff and face reality. But not everybody's thinking.
It'd be funny if someone made a not this guy, but like someone made a skit about this, like a guy with glasses walking around talking about something crashing, and then like they just fall on their ass or something.
Like that, because on average, people are thinking there's still a 61% chance that rates will fall over the next 12 months, which is also a series high. So once again, you always have people in both camps, right? Some people think that it's going to go up, some people think that it's going to go down. But you know, last October, interest rates went over 8% for the first time in like, I don't know, 30 years, something like that. And now recently, they're already back up to close to 7.3%. And that's for people with very good credit, good income, and a decent down payment. And so if you don't have those things, then you're
They spent $1 to do a sticker, I think.
probably looking at over an 8% mortgage rate right now if you're not going to be buying down some points. Now, the Fed has been doing this survey since 2014. These numbers are basically reflecting the worst outlook.
What was
Good
that?
Over an 8% mortgage rate right now if you're not going to be buying down some points. Now, the Fed has been doing this survey since 2014. These numbers are basically reflecting the worst outlook that we've seen since then, which is not really that much of a surprise, considering in 2014, we were already basically recovered from the GFC and things were starting to go good again. But it is interesting here because within this survey, even though people expect interest rates to go into double-digit territory, they also think that home prices are going to rise 5.1% over the next year as well. which doesn't really make a lot of sense because the higher mortgage rates go, the more unaffordable it becomes for people to buy, which means you're just going to have less and less people buying homes in general. Now you could argue, well, that also means that you're going to have less people selling homes because of the interest rates being high, and that is a fair point. However, when you're a buyer, for example, there's no rush to buy, okay? Some people say, oh, I have to buy because I'm having a kid, or I have to buy because I'm moving or whatever. You don't have to buy. What you need is you need a place to live. So you don't have to buy. But sellers, on the other hand, when they're in a position where they need to sell, it doesn't matter what's happening with the housing market or where interest rates are at or if we're in a recession or not. What happens is when somebody needs to sell the property, they have to sell it now. And so I don't think this argument long-term is going to hold up. Well, because interest rates are high, it's going to have the lock-in effect and keep everybody.
Gio, you're a longtime viewer. So, but I'll respectfully disagree. He just says what is going on current day and what he's encountered in his life. Much of his content has nothing to do with a crash.
You know, sitting still. And this is already being proven to be not true because this year we've seen inventory already pick.
My complaint was
A little over a week ago,
listen, people are here making money. It's a hustle. If this is how he makes his money, good for him. My thing, you really think there's like 10% rates are coming to London near you, housing market trouble. People stop, signs are everywhere, proof everyone's going broke. Can't buy this, mobile homes are not affordable. You really think that market crash, like even subconsciously, is not a main part of the videos?
up like 14% year over year.
I get it. Maybe you're saying, okay, once you watch the video, he's not specifically saying it's a market crash. Okay.
Here, and we're already getting close. We're not there, but we're close to pre-pandemic inventory levels. I think we're about 20% away.
Oh, that's when. That's right. So far, I don't want to watch a 23-minute video. Hey, it doesn't look like he puts ads in too. Some respect.
From being there. So it's not like we're that far off from having inventory back at normal levels, guys. And this is a time when interest rates are still near the highest that they've been in 30 years. So this argument that people are going to hang on to their low interest rates indefinitely, I don't think is really going to hold up because you're going to have people that are going to sell / need to sell regardless of what's going on. We're already seeing it happen now. But not only are people expecting home prices to increase, they're also expecting rent prices to go up by 9.7% over the next year and 5.1% over the next 5 years. Now that's an even steeper increase than.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way he makes money, and he uses housing market crash in his tags. I just don't understand how. Look at housing market crash is tagged right there, and Gio's saying he's not talking. You can tell he never actually listened to his videos. He just says what's going on and what he encountered. Much of his content has nothing to do with the crash.
The sales number, and this is where
I respect it. He reads headlines, gives you his opinion. He's obviously very consistent. He is killing it. Like, I don't think you guys realize how much money he's making off these views. If he actually does ad revenue. If he's actually doing ads on his videos, whew, that boy is doing at least 50K plus. Like, he is killing it. So very good at what he does. So let's see. You said Thatch win? How did I get to this? How am I starting? Why am I watching this? This is getting me really like. I have high blood pressure. I can't be watching this stuff. Thatch win. Why am I watching this? What is this Thatch win guy? Why am I giving an opinion on this guy? Do you mind sharing why he has your attention? 3 steps to buy your first rental property. 10 real estate misconceptions. Home prices will skyrocket. Whoa. What? Home prices will skyrocket? I have to watch this. I mean, full of baloney. That's kind of hard to just watch. I want to watch this video about the prices going up. I totally get, Gio, that you enjoy his content. A lot of people also enjoy my content, other people's content. Totally valid. But you have to, for you to say it's not just housing market crash, when that's literally most of the tags and everything is, you have to, like, bro, I love
home prices. It's going to skyrocket this spring. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about.
I talk so much crap about the Kardashians and Real Housewives, and my wife watches like Trixie Mattel.
My opinion on what's going on with the real estate market and why I made that profound statement. Now, I understand. I get a lot of resources from a lot of people. First, I get.
Bro, chill. Thank you. Trixie Mattel and Katya, like, doing a podcast. And I'm like walking around, I'm like, what is this? And like 30 minutes later, I'm like, this is really entertaining. But I'm not going to go tell the bros, hey, bro, oh, yeah, bro, it's just the Kardashians, they don't talk about just like superficial. The Real Housewives, there's no drama in that, bro. Oh, yeah, you know, the Trixie and Katya, it's not about drag queens. No, it's like, yeah, this is what it's about, and I still enjoy it. You know what I mean? Just like, it is what it is. Like, if you're going to defend something and be like, this boy likes to push the housing market agenda, titles, thumbnails, but I like his content, you should check it out. My guy, it's not the fiber connection. It's because I have like my Photoshop open. Let me take it off. It's not my internet. Please, let's stop the rumors that I'm married to my sister, that I have a BBL. If anyone has a BBL, it's BBL Kyle over there. BBL Kyle. BBL Kyle. That's how the song goes. And it's Chrome as well. Okay. I'm not going to take this abuse from you guys. Talking about my internet now. Doesn't Chrome for you guys just start like slowing down too? Okay, I'm going to stop. I like how King Hazy just comes on and just starts going, what the fuck?
Home prices.
All right, let's go. There you go. All right, well, I can... It should be a lot smoother now. Why are you asking if I'm 6'3"? Are you trying to, like, freaking make a clone of me or something? Only use Brave Chrome to destroy system R. What is that? Brave Chrome to destroy system RSS. What is that? What do you mean? Can you explain what that means? Kyle Seagraves, get the... Don't start with me. You already bailed on me yesterday. You didn't wait for me. I was 30 minutes late. You didn't wait for me. My wife was right about you, Kyle. You're just using me. There it is.
It's going to skyrocket this spring.
I've never seen any of this guy's videos. First thing I always check, just when I look at anything, not just real estate, just anything. Where is the funnel leading me to? Funding. Start real estate investing journey right here. Okay. Funding specialized for investors. Okay. And we're just getting a vibe. Where is the funnel going to? Hundreds of students building generational wealth. Okay. So it looks like a financial kind of like investor mentorship program. That's where it's gone.
In this video, I'm going to talk to you about my opinion on what's going on with the real estate
Oh, I'm gonna have to check it out. Kyle, heard a rumor that you only eat the boba balls and not the tea.
Market.
Why wouldn't I just ask for just the boba? Why do I order the tea still? I like the challenge of not getting any tea in the straw. I'll check out Brave for sure.
And why I made that profound statement. Now, I want you to understand, I get a lot of resources from a lot of people. First, I get it from my real-time multiple listing service in the Seattle area. I see what's happening in real time, and the media don't even see that until something in the multiple listing service get published, and then the media catch on. By that time, it's already too late. It's already happened already. I got investor friends, from single family to multi-family, institutional friends, all across the United States. And what they're telling me, I'm gonna talk to you guys about 3 things today. Number 1, what's happening in the real estate market right now. Number 2, what's going on with the inventory. And then number 3, this video that Barbara Corkin talked about on what her thoughts about.
My boy needs to work on his intro. It's too long of an intro.
At 7 o'clock, falling interest rate. And then at 8 o'clock, rising share price. And then rising commodity price, rising overseas reserve. At 11 o'clock, easier money. And at 12 o'clock, rising real estate all over again. So here's my question for everyone. I want you to think about this for a second, okay? Where do you think we're at on this clock right now? And, you know, do me a favor. Put in the comment where you guys think we are on the clock right now. Let's discuss.
Trying to force some engagement.
This. In the last quarter of 2023, when I asked this same question.
Hey, Nurse Jean, how are you?
To a lot of my Springboard students, we had a lot of people saying anywhere between, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. And there's no right or wrong answer, you guys, okay? But we were somewhere between falling commodity price, falling overseas, and rising unemployment. No question about that in the last quarter, okay? And obviously, we came from rising interest rate, which is 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And at the last quarter of last year, we were somewhere between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. I was going to say something. This clock, I got this clock from some of my friends who work at Wall Street. And the
sorry, I'm just going to skip to the advice he gives.
Investor and experienced buyer, they go in and they buy in now because they know that when rates going to continue to keep dropping lower and lower, you're going to get more competition because buyers are going to come back on the market. So if you buy now, you could always refinance the property in 2025, but you also gain on the appreciation now in 2025 because more buyers come on the market, prices are going to continue to rise. So if you buy now, by 2025, you're going to instantly have sweat equity already in your property. And this is what's happening. And this is what people like me and a lot of advanced investors or people that know and understand that they're buying home now. Let me shift gear. Let me talk about this 10-year cycle. You guys hear me talk about it a lot, okay? But this go hand in hand with the clock, okay? Historically, every 10 year, the market, rises. And then every 2 years, it corrects. If you look at historically, okay, in the past, the real estate markets have done that. Every 10 years, and then it corrects itself. Every 10 years, it corrects itself. And so right now, we were somewhere in the 21, 22, you know what I mean? Where we literally almost hit the peak, pretty much was at the peak. And then right now, 22, 23, and some 24 right now, we're at the bottom of the market again. We're slow.
Is there a fly in the room, or is this like his reflection?
Slowly now coming out of this hole right now, okay? So if that's the case, and history repeats itself, if we get out of this hole, that means that we're going to get another 10-year run again like the past. And if that's so, if you bought a house again, let's say for $700,000 right now, 10 years from now, if history repeats itself, it would double to $1.4 million. And this is this 10-year cycle is saying. So this 10-year cycle on the clock.
Unboxing Nams. Hello, Javier. Do you know about the OOF program? OOF? Is that like the Roblox sound effect? OOF. You know what I'm talking about? It's not my internet, validated reefer. All right, that's enough. Stop the applause. It's not my internet. Let's not. What's up, Roberto?
is going hand by hand right now, because as rates go down, people are going to start buying. So if people start buying, we're going to start seeing that rises, right? Again, the 10-year cycle. So I think, again, we are now at the bottom of the market, and rates start to continue to drop. And when rates drop,
that massive check, it says $1 million.
it's going to spike up the prices, and people are going to jump in and start basically buying, compete against each other, driving the price back up, and we're going to have another 10-year run. So if you're going to buy, you guys, buy now. You can all refinance in 2025 when the rates come back down. Let's talk about inventory and why we are here where we are right now. There's a lot of things that goes into this, all right? So I'm going to talk to you guys a couple of different things, okay? First, I want to talk to you guys about, it depends on what article and what news you listen to right now, okay? I hear that right now we are anywhere from 4 million to 5.5 million, up to 8 million home shortage. The population growth right now is growing massively fast.
I think I get the general gist here. So the first thing we did is like, where is this funneling to? Funneling to some kind of investor course. One thing I respect about this guy, he has an opinion. When someone has an opinion, I respect it. The opinion is, which I think a lot of the general optimists are saying, the rates are going to go down. When rates go down, the prices are going to go up. And you need to buy now because you're going to have sweat equity. You're going to still gain value. And when rates, you can always refinance later. I think the problem I have, not just this guy, but when people say that, is you're saying it with such certainty. Certainty the prices will go down. Prices will go up, sorry, and the rates will go down. And one thing I've learned in these 31 years of life as a 6'3", deliciously brown man is nothing is certain in this world. So I can't tell someone in confidence that if you buy right now, just refinance later. Rates are going to go down, prices are going to go up. What you can control in this life is what you're making now, how that's being allocated, and what you can do with what you're making now. If someone is going to go and really stretch out their budget and listen to this advice, it's fundamentally bad. Because what, like we were talking about, someone at the beginning of the chat, didn't they say that their brother-in-law, as they were moving into their new house, broke his arm and lost his job within the first day or two? Like, if that person listened to your advice, that's bad. But if you listen to what I advise, buy within 25 to 30% of your net income, at least have 3 months of your net income saved. So 3 months of just in case, like, of income ready to go. Having on top of that your retirement already set up, so you have additional investment funds started, and like you're getting into the situation like in a healthy, financially stable situation, then that seems like better advice to me. So I'm not going to say if this guy's full of baloney or not. I think most people that are fundamentally, this guy's probably way richer than all of us combined, right? So like, I can't go and say this guy's bad, this guy's good. I'm sure he's killing it in whatever level he's doing. I just think that most people need to maybe focus on working on their budget and their credit and stuff like that before they go listen to advice like this. I'm the tallest Latino. I've met some taller ones. No, not the OOF program. It helps pay the house faster. Instead of paying in 30 years, you can pay the house in 10 years. No, not that. The OOF. Is the OOF program a real thing? OOF program? So yeah, what else you guys got? Do a speed test and show us. Yeah, and leak my IP address. Are you insane? Let me do a speed test. What's a good by the way, I am on Wi-Fi. I haven't installed the direct connections yet. So this is purely Wi-Fi. Where do you guys think I am speed-wise? Especially you, Kyle. BBL Kyle, what do you think I am? Download and upload. Please tell me. On Wi-Fi, by the way. I just did it, so I have it here. Jonathan, which would be better to use, USDA or conventional with 20K seller credit, 740 credit? Whatever gets you a better monthly payment, and whatever. I would go with USDA if you don't have an emergency fund already set up. But your monthly payment probably will be higher, right? So I think I need to know a lot more about the situation first. Geo 85030. Oh, you guys are so generous. Oh my gosh, do I have slow internet? I have a gig. Do I? Oh my gosh. Maybe I need to not be on Wi-Fi. I gotta find a way to have to drill a hole through the wall or something. Baby, based on how you watch. You ass. You ass. That's it right there. 268 over 100. Wow, I cannot believe it. I've been streaming for an hour and 37 minutes. I'm going to call it, y'all. Fun time. 100 less. Yeah, no, there's something going on. Freaking Cox. I supposedly have a gig, and every time I test it, it's like less than the gig. Even if I'm directly connected in there. It's so... so frustrating. Maybe you have an old version of Wi-Fi. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. Wi-Fi also has packet loss during speed. It isn't that bad. Can you guys tell Kyle he's full of shit, please? Let me tell you a story about Kyle Seagraves. Here, I'm going to pull out my DMs real quick. The other day, it was like 2 a.m., right? And I get a call. And normally I don't get calls because I go on, the sleep mode or whatever. But it was like an emergency call, so it actually went through. So I answered, and it was, of course, I look at my phone. You're such a bully. Whoa, look at you. He like bullies me, and then I actually show him, and he was like, wow. Anyways, so I answer the phone. It's 2 a.m. and it's Kyle. And he's crying his eyes out. And I'm like, dude, what's going on? He FaceTimes me. That's how I know he was crying his eyes out. Like, dude, what's going on? What's going on? And he was just like,